choice. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Same kind of process. First of all, I want you to go ahead and write down the heading definition. So this is what word choice actually is. All right, and then I want you to write this down. Okay, so word choice is about explaining the deeper meaning of a word and explaining what the writer is trying to say, okay, the point they're trying to make by using it. So, two things, explaining the deeper meaning of a word and explaining what the writer is trying to say by using that word. So write these down and also put the underlined part where I've put it. Okay, now the purpose of the question, this is what it's checking. Okay, this is where it's checking is, and again, write this down also, is where it's checking is to check, can the student break down a word into its connotations, meaning related words? So connotations is just another way of saying words that are related to the quoted word, yeah? So, for example, fire has connotations, related words of danger, of heat, of light, knowledge, etc., etc., etc. Things that are related to the word, yeah? Other words that pop up into your mind when you think about that word, or also what that word means. So, for example, danger has related words of risk or death or whatever, yeah? Okay, so that's the first thing. Can you break a word down into its connotations? So do you actually understand what the word means? That's basically what it's checking. Can you break it down? And then two, can you use that to explain on a deeper level what the writer is saying? So if you think about it, words, the specific words that you use create different meanings. All right. The words that you use create different meanings. This is why we focus on it. Yeah, this is the point of it. For example, if you say to somebody, I like you, okay, and if you say to somebody, I love you, they both have the same basic sort of meaning. Basically, yeah, you have a positive feeling, positive emotion, positive sort of relationship with this specific person. The difference is there's a difference in intensity and also difference in things that are attached to the word. Yeah, if I like you, you could be my postman. I might like you. I think you're a cool guy because you're on time and whatever, and you deliver my letters and all that. Yeah. But if I love you, you're probably my boy yet. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I would trust you with stuff. That's the point, yeah? So the words are different. They have different intensity. So you can't just replace a word. So, okay, when it comes to the question, the point is you focus on a single word because it gives a different meaning. Yeah, the writer is using it to make a specific point, a specific meaning. He's trying to say something specific. That's the idea, yeah? So in this question, you're zooming in on those words, okay? And you're saying the writer is using this word to do this or to say this, to mean this. That's the point, yeah? That's what it's checking. Can you do that, yeah? Okay. Now, the good thing is, all right, if at any point you feel sort of nervous or you're having some sort of self-doubt, first of all, don't have any self-doubt, yeah? Especially if you consider yourself one of my students, you can't be having no self-doubt, you know what I'm saying, man? You gotta keep it G, man, you know what I mean? So that's number one. Number two is that these skills, okay, are skills that you use every day, all right? So in your conversations, let me move this real quick. So in your conversations with people, all the time, you are using in your own words, as I explained before. When you're talking to someone, you're checking, are they listening to you? Do they know what you're saying? We even use it in like our the way we talk to each other. Like at the end of your sentence, you say, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I just told you? We use it, yes, in your own words. And then word choice, we do that all the time. Like when we text each other, someone might send you something and they use a specific word, and then that will create a certain impact. Yeah, it might make you feel like, hey, why did you say that? Don't use that word. I didn't like that word. Or, oh snap, she really likes me. She said use this word. You know what I'm saying? So we do these things all the time. Yeah, you might say a certain word to trigger somebody, to show them you like them. That's the point. So you already know all of these skills intuitively. You have them already inside you. The point is you just need to know sort of how to like formally express and show that you already have them. That's the point, yeah? Okay. Okay, good. And also one final thing to give you some confidence. If you're at this level, higher or Nat 5, you're at this level because someone believes that you can, you're capable of passing the exam. Yeah, that's the point. Someone thinks you can pass it, and you can pass it, yeah, because I've had multiple students that were predicted a D, and then they got an A or a B. It's like common, yeah, it's normal, it's just a little bit of work. Okay, so now what I want you to do is go ahead and make your heading how to do it. So here are the specific steps, all right, and how to do it. And again, I want you to write these down. So pause the video and write these down. Okay, so again, start the same way. Every question in RUE starts with going to the lines. Lines in the passage, that is. Okay, now what you do is you underline words that are related to the question. Give yourself a little selection. So when you go to the lines, all right, there's going to be a bunch of words that you could choose from. Okay, like I'll give you an example. So have a look here. All right, so say if the question was about factory farming and how it's not good, how it treats animals poorly. Yeah. Okay, there's a bunch of words in here that we could pick. Okay, like for example, we could take this even intensive. We could take short life. Okay, even the word short actually. Take the word short. Take the word lifespan. Take worn out, overproduction, and so on. Yeah. So the point is, there's a bunch of words that are going to be in the paragraph or the lines that you've been told to go to. So what you want to do, okay, is when you have it, when you go to the lines, you want to underline, okay, all the options or the options that you think you can take. Now, obviously, don't underline the whole thing yet. Maybe underline, I don't know, 6 or 7, something like that, yeah? Different options that you could pick. Okay, now what you want to do once you've done that is you want to look at your options, all right? And you want to pick the easiest one. So from all of these, there's a couple that are quite easy, okay? Like for example, short, yeah, short, that's easy to understand. Maybe overproduction, it's kind of simple. So you want to pick the easiest answer. Now, why is that? Because when it comes to RUAE, okay, this is general game for RUAE. When it comes to RUAE, you don't get marked on complexity. All right, generally speaking, you don't get marked on complexity. You get marked based on, did you provide an answer that like fits the like marking scheme? Yeah, basically, did you give an answer to the question using the specific steps, like the steps that I'm telling you to do? Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you go for a word that's very hard or a word that's like very easy, you get the same mark. Generally speaking, you'll get the same mark. So what you want to do is you want to make your life easier. You want to go for the easiest words, yeah? Anytime you can, you want to go for the easiest words, okay? So go ahead, write these steps down. So that's the next thing. Give yourself options, pick the easiest one, okay? And then what you do is you give the connotations of the word. Give the connotations of the word, and then you do the this suggest. Now again, I'm going to show you how to do this in a second. Just write these down, and then we will move on. Okay. Okay, sweet. All right. Now, some tips for you. Some tips for you. Okay. Excuse me. Some tips for you. So go ahead and write these down also. Excuse me. So if you're stuck, all right, if you get stuck at any point and you're not exactly sure how to do the last part, the this suggest part to answer the question, you can literally use a word, all right, from this part to answer the question. I'm going to show you what that looks like in a minute. Okay, so that's the first tip. If you get stuck, use a word from step 4 to help you in step 5, meaning use a word from the connotations part to help you in the this suggest part. Okay, now finally, again, like I said at the start, if the question asks you to comment or analyze language, comment on or analyze language, you can analyze the word choice. Now, I'd recommend that you do that because it is the easiest thing to analyze. So if it asks you to comment on language or analyze language, analyze the word choice. Okay. So, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an example answer. So make that your next heading, example answer. Okay, here is your question. And this is based on a quote from Visiting Hour, which some of you might be doing. All right, so there was a word in there, which is the word pain. Okay, so go ahead and write this question down. Okay, and then here we do the steps. Actually, I'll put lines 1 to 5. The line numbers are not correct, yeah, in terms of the poem. I can't remember where it comes from, but just to give you like sort of a more realistic example. So, okay, so it says go to lines 1 to 5. What does the writer say about the patient? Analyze word choice. So again, this could have said analyze language. Yeah, and that would be fine too. So we go there, we look for a bunch of different words. We see that the word pain is in there. Pain is kind of easy to break down. We all know kind of what pain means. That's kind of tragic. We all know what pain means, yeah. So we take the word pain and we write it down, yeah. There's our first, there's our key step once we've got the quote, yeah. So we write the word down. Now, what we want to do as much as we can is we want to stick to one word, okay? One word. So we write down one word, which is pain. Good. Then we go ahead and we say this relates to, and we give the connotations, yeah, we give the related words. So here it's hurt, sadness, and vulnerability. So these are words that are related to pain. Okay, so then all we do, all right, so we say pain. What does pain mean? Pain is related to sadness, being hurt, being vulnerable. So then all we do is we just answer the question. Okay, what does the writer say about the patient? Now again, easiest way to do this is just take one of the words from the related word part. Okay, we take the word hurt and we use that to answer the question. We just quote the question and add on the little connotation. This suggests the patient was very hurt. That is all you have to do. This here, okay, is a 1 mark answer. And you can see here how the marking works. This is for higher. This is for higher. So higher. Higher looks like that. Okay. If you're doing Nat 5, if you're doing National 5, this here would be 2 marks. Okay. So if you're doing higher, you only get 1 mark. You don't get a mark for the quote by itself. All right. If you're doing Nat 5, you get a mark for the quote and you get a mark for the explanation if the explanation is correct. So very easy, yeah. This is why I tell you, just do word choice as much as you can. Any opportunity you get to use it, yeah. You don't get marked less for doing word choice. Like if you just do word choice again and again, you do not get marked less. You only get marked less, say for example, if you like try and do 2 answers with the same quote. Like if you use pain twice in the same question, obviously you're not going to get the mark for that, yeah? Okay, now what I want you to know, what I want you to keep in mind, all right, is the structure of your answer. It always looks like this, okay? These 3 steps. You have one word, you have this relates to, and then you have this suggests. It always looks like this. So it's important that you learn this and you do it multiple times until you've got it. Okay, and I'll show you another example answer. Okay, one thing also I want to mention, on the document it says Nat 5 at the top. Some of you might be thinking, you might be wondering, is this for Nat 5 only or is this for higher? So the document, it just says Nat 5, but these steps that I'm telling you, they apply for both. So Nat 5 and higher, they're answered the same way. Okay, but aside from the 5 marker, there's no 5 mark question in Nat 5 in RUAE. But the rest of it is basically the same. They're just marked differently. And then also at higher, the passage is slightly more complicated, like, and you do 2 of them, yeah, instead of just 1. Those are the differences. But in terms of the steps, they're actually the same, yeah. Both of them are pretty simple. They're just basically what I've explained to you. Okay. Okay, now here you can see an even more clearer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see an even clearer example of these steps. So again, write example answer. Okay. And here is the question. Okay, so write this question down. Write this question down. What does the writer's word choice tell you about professional football? And it's lines 1 to 5. Okay. You don't need to write this whole thing down. But what I want you to notice is, do you see how I've underlined a bunch of different options? So I've underlined different options. And for example, if this was a 4-mark answer, okay, and what I'll even do is those in the description picked. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some more just to make a point of those who made it. Okay, so I picked one more, yeah. The race. Okay, here's another one. The race. It's kind of a metaphor, but we can flip it into word choice also. Okay, so now I've picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've picked 6. I've picked 6 different answers. Okay, I've picked 6 different answers that you could words, sorry, that you could zoom in on. Now this is the step that I told you that what you want to do. You want to give yourself different options. All right. Now that we've got these different options, say the question has 4 marks. Yeah, it's a 4-mark question. Okay. What you want to do? How do you know how many answers to write? You base the number of answers on, all right, on the marks. So if it's 4 marks, it means you need to write 4 answers. Okay, that look like this. You need 4 of these. All right. So we give ourselves a bunch of options. We give ourselves more options than we need. So we given ourselves 6 options here. And then all we need to do is we just pick the easiest ones, yeah? So we pick the easiest 4 and we use those. Okay, so we're gonna go with the word fraction. Okay, so again, you see one word, and then we have this relates to, okay, percentage and small amount. And then we just say, and I'm gonna say the writer says, okay. Actually, oh wait, my bad. Okay, don't copy that, yeah. I should keep it like this, yeah. This suggests that professional football is hard to be accepted into. And I could even flip this if we want to make it even sort of simpler, like based on what I told you before. That in professional football, or we'll say only a small amount of people make it into professional football, yeah? So you see again how I used the exact words from the connotations part to get the answer. It's that simple, okay? It is that simple. So again, use this formula. I know you might have been taught slightly differently, but this formula is like, it makes things very easy for you. It makes things very simple for you, no matter if you're doing Nat 5, if you're doing higher. And you can use this formula for very complicated texts and very simple texts also. Okay, so that is word choice. Yes, okay, good. All right, now finally, the last thing that we're going to look at is we're going to now look at the 5-mark question. So go ahead and make your heading 5-mark comparison question. Okay. So this is now for, if you're doing Nat 5, you don't need to watch this, yeah. If you're doing Nat 5, you've got enough now to be able to pass your RUAE exam. All you need to do is just practice. Okay, you just need to practice a lot, and you have enough to do good / well, yeah. Obviously, you want to practice the other parts because you've got, you know, a couple months till your prelims, so practice the other parts too. Just make sure you zoom in your own words and word choice, and you should be good to go, yeah. It should also help you in your what do you call it, Scottish text also. Okay, but if you're doing Nat 5, you're finished, yeah. So you can log off this video, you can stop watching this video. Okay, if you're doing higher, stay with me. And yes. Okay, give me 1 second. It's not here because it's not nat 5 yet. All right, give me 1 second. And let me get the higher done. Okay, so this question, this comparison question. Okay, what is the point of the question? So make your heading comparison question. Okay, here we go. So the point of the question is to compare between the two articles. Now what I'll do very quickly is I'll just show you an example, and then I'll show you how to do it, and then we will be